Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally, Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes, they meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the science media cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
I trust that you are having a very good evening. My name is Norman Tumuhimbise. That every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. we stream live on our social media pages. That's Alternative Digitalk on Facebook, Digitalk TV on Facebook again, and YouTube, Alternative Digitalk. We stream live on Face the Nation show, where we look around and find people that have done wonderful work for this country, both national and international, to share their opinion on topical discussions. Today, we are grateful to have a one and only Professor Francis Bwengye. I hail from Western Uganda, so when you mention the word Bwengye, Bwengye means brains or wisdom. So today, we are with the moving wisdom, and he's going to share with us a variety of experiences here and there. In particular, we're going to tackle some bit of politics, governance, and also human rights. I want to call upon Professor Bwengye an English person would say Professor Wisdom, but of course he's Professor Francis Bwengye. To say hello to our viewers, and then we shall proceed, sir. Say hello to our viewers, sir.
Hello, viewers. I'm happy to see you.
Thank you. Professor Bwengye, to those of you, our generation who may not have followed the politics, years ago, he was the Secretary General of DP in 1980. That is an election where DP lost to UPC. But of course, Professor Bwengye and others continue to say that the elections were rigged, a reason for which Mr. Museveni and his colleagues went to the bush. But nonetheless, in 2001, he contested as the DP official flag bearer for presidency, where he also lost. Professor Bwengye, let's dive a bit in the DP politics. How did you lose back in the day in 1980? Because we understand you contested back in the day in Ushenyi. How did you lose that seat?
First of all, the cancer of the elections in Uganda has been rigging. The rigging has gone on even before independence. Must have heard of the Kabaka Yeka and the DP and UPC, where the Kabaka Yeka decided not to vote, not to, one person, one vote, to vote as a bloc, because they wanted to defeat Chiwanuka, who they said had disagreed with the Kabaka. That was rigging, really. It was not universal election. Now, the election that of the 1980 was very well supervised, but there was creeping rigging. You'll find that Paul Mwanga, who was the vice chairman of the military commission, was influencing the electoral commission itself, the chairman. I think the chairman who must have been Chikira or somebody, and there was rigging, the changing of, for example, in West Nile, they made sure that there were no elections
at all.
People passed and opposed. Of course, they sent their soldiers and so on, and it was a DP enclave, but people who passed and opposed were UPC, and Manga did it intentionally. And then also, the results, the elections, the DP was as popular as we see in UP today, even more popular, because most of us were young people of 30s, 30, 32, 34, another modern type of person, and we had mobilized the country, including the type of the Serimaga, the Kairas, the what, and so on, and we also created a situation that the election had to be observed. So a Commonwealth team came and observed, but the results that were declared were not reflecting what was on the ground. And we had warned the people, however, those people were in power, that if there is rigging and the results are overturned, there will be war. And I think we leave it to that. We leave it to that. And at that time, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was a member of the military commission. I think a minister at that time was the assistant minister of defense. But we had convinced him, even during the elections,
that should they rig your...
Yes, that we should fight. And we had also given him a leeway that our youth can join him.
The DP youth can...
Well, we had materialized the youth. They were militants. And before the elections, we had even sent people outside who had trained. About 200 people had trained in one of the neighboring countries and some other places in Africa. So during elections, these people were already back. And we had already brought in arms to fight. In fact, we had more arms, not the 27, for example, 7 is talking about, because some of those 27 were also distributed by us. For us, we had brought heaps and heaps of arms.
So does that mean, so also DP, a party that people thought wasn't militant, you are giving us a different version. They are warmongers.
No, it's not warmongers. The people fight for their rights. And when it comes to, that's why you are seeing the youth today, they have everything to lose. I am a teacher in a university, and every year we turn up students, thousands of them, no work. They can't go on being redundant forever. They would rather die. There is a sage adage from the guerrillas. You would rather die on your feet than die on your knees. On your knees. Now these people have no job. Some of them are scientists. Some of them even know they are even already trained militarily and so on. And you keep them on the street. You give them border. A graduate with a degree in science. You give him a border. You get only 10,000 per day. What do you expect? He's not satisfied. Nobody is mobilizing him.
He will mobilize himself.
He will mobilize himself. And so in 1981, when we said we are going to fight,
you meant it.
People voluntarily came and we took them out. We just smuggled them out and they went for training.
Isn't that slightly controversial, Professor? Because you say you pledged and indeed you went ahead to execute your pledge of fighting. But your president comes on board and works with UPC, works with Dr. Obote as a minister. That's Paul Kawanga Simogerere. So isn't that a contradiction?
No. I have to correct you there. Dr. Kawanga never worked with Obote as a minister.
Rather, as an MP, as a leader of opposition. As a leader of opposition in parliament, yes.
Now, DP got divided somewhere.
As always.
Yes.
DP has always had so many factions.
Where it got divided, some of us, the type of ourselves, myself, at that time I was Secretary General, and the people like Zachary Rum, who was organizing secretary, and others. There was another one called Okenyi, who was the vice president. For us, we went with the group saying, if we are cheated, we fight. Semogere had his own group.
Join the parliament,
yes,
join the government.
For me, I'm going to parliament. For us, even though some of us had won, the Buzabo, Bernard Buzabo and others decided whether we have won or lost, we have to fight. So he went with some of those people and he formed became the leader of opposition.
If I may ask a second, Professor, does that mean that your DP internal conflicts are traced back in 1980? Because now we already see two factions. The one of Dr. Bwengye supporting UPM in the Bush War, and then the one of Dr. Simogerere now working with Obote as the leader of opposition.
In every organization, political organization or political parties, you always find the dissenting views. You have heard before that there was another Munyankore who was Secretary General of DP called Basilio Bataringaya. He disagreed with Chiwanuka and he joined the Obote. He became Secretary General of UPC. You remember, and became Minister of Internal Affairs, arrested Chiwanuka, vengefully arrested Chiwanuka, put him in jail, only to be released by Idi Amin in 71. Now, when it came to DP, we had agreed. We sat as a group and said, if we are cheated, we fight. Including the late Semogere.
He accepted at a time that if we are cheated, okay.
Now, after the election, after cheating, then we got divided. But otherwise, we were in unison that we should resist. Now, when he decided to go to parliament, for reasons for himself, for us, we overlooked him.
You went exile.
Yes. So that is. Now, currently, for example, you see, if an organization, even if you look at NRM, they are dissenting views.
But for some reason they reconcile. Why couldn't you reconcile? And because even when you came back, I mean you, because the DP that supported Mr. Museveni in the Bush War, later alone chose also to incorporate those that had stayed here. Because I understand that Dr. Kawanga was given a ministerial position of internal affairs.
Yes.
Deputized by Dr. Besigye. So thereafter, why did you again, because you had worked with Mr. Museveni during the Bush War, why did you again now fight him in 2001?
You see, for me, I believe in democracy.
As a Democrat?
Yes, as a Democrat. And democracy means competition. My ideas don't rhyme with those of Museveni. At that time, Museveni was a socialist.
Yeah.
Like Mamdani. Me, I was not a socialist. So I wouldn't join the socialist government, and we conflict there.
But you supported the socialist person when he was in the bush, unless you want to say that he lied to you that he wasn't a socialist.
No, we knew what he was, but a coalition. You see, when you make a coalition, say we are going to fight.
All ideas, the left wingers and the center left.
Exactly. All these groups must decide on one thing to fight. That's why sometimes you get coalition governments. It does not. The Socialist Party, Conservative Party,
make a cocktail of ideas.
A cocktail. But you don't change your views because some other person has got his own views. That's why some of us have remained in DP. Besides,
however bad people think it is.
We have remained there because we believe in certain views. I would have been in another party.
Maybe I should also ask you the very question. Why didn't you, first of all, why did it take you that long from 1986 when Mr. Museveni took power to 2001 to realize that this is a socialist, therefore I ought to
No. Maybe you didn't follow me up because in 1987, Museveni arrested me. The Museveni government arrested me with Dr. Kayira and put us in
charges and treason.
Yes, and you know treason is the worst crime in the country. Then the court released me. Happy enough, my lawyer at that time was Bat Kature, who
later became the Chief Justice.
Yes, and when the court said, for us, we are not involved. Whether there was anything of that nature, we are not party to it. And when I was released, I realized that some people were even after my life.
Yeah, you again went to another extent.
Yes, so what I did, I had to leave. I left the country. They don't know how I left. They had me talking in Kenya, and I left for England. Of course, there were voices saying that we should fight, start another fight. Yeah. And some of us said, no, I think we have had enough. Our people have had enough
of wars.
Yeah, enough of wars. Let's see how this man rules. And I stayed there for some time. It is him who sent delegates to London to bring me back. And they accepted to come back after about 2 years, because I came back, about 3 years, I came back in 1990, at the end of 1990.
Very interesting, Professor. When you say he sent a delegation to, to lure you come back, isn't that interpreted as compromise?
No, it's not compromise. You see, Museveni has got two sides, a good one and a bad one.
First tell us about his bad one. Okay, he's a good one.
Because a human being has got those two sides.
The good one, the bad one.
Yes, because, for example, when he sent his brother to come and talk to me.
Saleh? General Saleh?
Yes. And we met in Germany in a place called Koblenzi. We talked and he said, now we see you people are from the same area. You are
same tribe.
Yes, same tribe. You fought for this government. Why should you be in exile? I said, your brother wants to kill me. He said, no, he can't kill you. See? So he convinced me. And then he sent also.
Why did you say his brother wanted to kill you? Did you have proof that he wanted to kill you?
Oh, but hanging, if you lose the case of treason.
Definitely you'll be killed.
You'll be killed. It's hanging you. It's a man, right? Wakasisi was lucky. He could have been hanged. Yeah,
because
when
he was convicted.
Wakasisi, he was on the hang list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is killing.
Maybe in a second, Professor, most of these talks come with envelopes, and I will mention brown envelopes, like they say. Did you ever get any from his brother? Like, okay, in addition to wanting you to come back, here is also some package for you.
No. And he knows it, and everybody knows it. I don't belong to that group.
That receives envelopes?
Nobody has ever given that envelope. And if he did, I rejected it.
Was there an MOU, a written document, to guarantee your safety upon your return?
Yeah, I guaranteed safety. And when I came here, they gave me accommodation, I think, for about 2 years. And I settled, I got a job. And
job in the government?
No. I decided.
All they did was to give you safety, safety landing, come and do your things.
This practice, I have been in this practice since I returned. And they have not bothered me. I even won a World Bank contract in 1989, I think, 88, 89.
Did he ever try to reach out to appoint you, serve him in government?
Oh, yeah, those negotiations were there.
Why did you decline the position?
Because I wouldn't feel comfortable there. There are people who are given those jobs. Are they still there? They send out as the Minister of Finance, the what? They can give you a job, a job, but do you fit in there?
But you're already fitting in the very country. I think it's just an additional sort of fitting. You first of all you fit in the country, and then maybe fit in NRM.
You see, I have a right to be in this country. Whether I'm DP, UPC, anybody has a right to be in this country. It's when our views don't coincide, you have to tolerate those views. And even if I didn't join NRM, of course, he persuaded me, so why don't you join NRM? I said, no. A man who has been Secretary General of DP, you expect me to cross over?
By the way, for your information, which I know you know, you're talking about the Secretary General, the whole DP president.
Yes.
Was taken over. So I mean, taking the Secretary General wasn't as much as scary than taking. Anyhow, we shall reach there. Let me ask you something. So 2000, you returned back. 2001, you contest against him. What did he say? Did he ever reach to you and asking you, oh my brother, I didn't expect this. Did he ever reach?
Oh yeah, we had a meeting
before contesting against him.
Between him and him. In fact, he persuaded me not to stand. Because he said there is no reason, because we came back, we compromised, we will get a job. I said, no. On principle of democracy, I am standing against you. And he gave me a leeway. He said, you go, we shall meet in the field. But we met.
Did you consider the electoral process fair, just and transparent, the 2001 elections?
Yeah, that was my greatest expectation at that time. Because the people who were the electoral commission were people of substance. But of course they were over-influenced. And there was quite a bit of rigging, even 2001. There was a bit of rigging, but technically it was much better than the election I saw in 1980. You see, some of these people now speak of, they don't want the past to be known. But if you ask Professor Bwengye, who had stood against one of the candidate or UPC candidates, he was made to kneel down and sit in the mud, humiliated, the whole professor, being humiliated, and they made sure the votes he had got in, they never counted them. But I don't think anything of that nature happened in 2001. Because I was with the Besigye, I was with some other people who were free, we would even meet in the same hotel. I remember one time we met in, I think it was a Soret Hotel or something. We took one wing and the president took another.
Sure.
Yes, and we have no problem. We are not harassed by security, we are given security. Now, there is what you call creeping rigging. You see, you can have, would even have huge rallies and so on, but how are the boxes?
These results?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't have the votes in the boxes. It's also possible that your vote has lied with you. That you had the votes, so in actual sense you didn't.
It's not about stealing the ballot papers. It is stealing figures.
The results here.
Yes.
That are declared.
You can use a computer. Those of you who know computer, you can change things in a computer, and nobody is there to contest. Say, what did the computer say? Much of this, at first, the previous elections were being cheated by using, by stealing vote, exchanging ballot papers. Yeah. But those
that's the ballot stuffing. Like
yes, ballot stuffing. But today it is
technology. Playing around with the numbers.
Yes, but even this technology, I think there are people now who are fighting it. That's why you see Mohammedan in New York, you could not cheat him because
technology is
either use cyber or use, but all this can be taken care of. That's what Ugandans, especially Gen Z, has not realized how they don't know what goes on.
Yeah, sure.
Insidiously, they don't know what goes on. Because somebody might not have the majority, but is declared the winner, like what happened in Tanzania. Yes.
Let's talk about your DP politics, Professor Bwengye. Mr. Museveni, your friend, I want to believe it is still factual that he's your friend.
Who?
Mr. Museveni.
He's my friend.
Good.
Yes.
He has always told us that there is good and bad DP. Which DP do you belong to?
That there is good and bad DP?
There is a good and bad DP. So where do you belong? To
me, DP is the same. These internal disagreements, I have said, is only in every party, even in homes, in families. you can never all be with the same mind. And as I've told you, in NRM, the Tingifuzas,
Yeah.
yes, do they agree with him?
Mbabazi,
Mbabazi, they don't agree with him, but they are still in NRM. Mbabazi, for example, although he had decided to join another party,
with the forward, go forward.
but I knew, because I worked with Mbabazi, he's one of the founders, if not the major founder of NRM. You don't leave NRM.
Despite the conflicts from
Yes.
within.
Yes.
So, in your view, the notion of bad and good DP doesn't exist.
No. But individuals.
There can be bad and good individuals in
Yes,
DP.
yes. But the party is based on certain principles. And some of us are there because of those principles. And the people like Museveni, at first he was also DP.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
basing on those principles, which, you see, you are fighting for the rights of the disadvantages, for the majority of the disadvantages, like the youth. If we don't take the youth into consideration today, even if you rig the elections, you will not rule this country. Because people have no jobs, people who would have gone to universities cannot go to universities, and so on and so forth.
Okay. About your previous office as Secretary General of DP 1980, what cancer eats up that office? That when you look at your history as Secretary Generals, you have always been at loggerheads with either with the public or your presidents. And I'll mention a few. At least for you, you are kind of clean. We have not read about any conflicts between you and your former president. But let me mention Grace Ibingira, Secretary General UPC, had issues with the Obote. We know Mbabazi had issues with Mr. Museveni in NRM. When you look at Batalingaya with Benedicto Chiwanuka,
Yes.
look at Nandala Mafabi also, back in the day, there were issues and people would point on to him as being a bigger issue in FDC. What is it that comes along when it comes to the Secretary General office and the conflicts? It's like they are relatives.
You see, Africa is a very complicated continent. We go on some of these things without understanding the real basics, because the position of a Secretary General is executive. He's the one who runs the party.
He's the CEO.
Yes, he's the chief executive of the party. He's the one who controls the funds. He's the one who plans. He's the brain of the party. Now, the other one is the chief, is the top. They call him for a meeting and so on. Even if you look at NRM today, the work that is done, Museveni can hardly. It's a matter of ringing the man at what is the
Chadondo.
Chadondo. How is it going? What about this area? And all the records, all the contacts, all is by the secretariat. When you are in charge of the secretariat, you are the one to organize funds sometimes. You can bring in the head to take him to go
through.
Yes. But what normally happens, there is suspicion. Most of these secretary generals become a bit popular. And also financially.
You want to overshadow.
Yes. So, and the leaders, the person who has been elected leader feels scared. That is why Bingira was arrested. That is why Batalingaya had to leave the DP. And that is why
Mbabazi was also being humiliated here and there in 2016.
And so on and so forth. And this will go on for long. Even in Kenya, it happened. In Tanzania, it happened. So
it's a power struggle within political parties.
Yes, and this power struggle is natural. Because
how can it be tamed so that each one of these people in offices know their boundaries without necessarily conflicting?
You see, that's why even dictatorship crops in. Each one of they know the boundaries. Let me take you, for example, to these religious bodies, leave alone politics. When there is an archbishop, he is helped by somebody called the vicar general. And another one is dealing with the finance called the chancellor, who deals with finances. But you always find a bit of conflict.
Even in the God's house.
Exactly, even in God's house. And the same thing to the Muslims, the chief mufti, the mufti, and the other, the secretary general, and so on. Because power, some people believe that power is indivisible. That power belongs to one person. Once you are a chairman or a president, the power belongs to you.
You don't want to be questioned.
Yes, but when you say power is indivisible, I think that's Machiavellian and so on. Then you have the one who is behind has also to make sure he creates his way
to the top.
Yes, to the top, and that's
And
where
you
the
also try to suppress him.
yes, that's where the conflict begins.
Okay. Well, we are with Professor Francis Bwengye. Those of you that have just joined us, don't forget to subscribe and or share our link to the rest of the people. I want to ask you about the, again, DP politics. We have Chairman Mao having an MOU with your friend and what he calls as a working relationship with the NRM. Some people think he took the whole party and delivered it to NRM. What is your view? Was it a good move? Had you been the DP president, would you have acted in the same way Mao did?
You see, for me, I believe that at the beginning, I told you coalitions are okay if they are principled. For example, if Museveni wanted peace in this country, and Kyagulanyi won some elections, and Mao also stood and won some, and got some votes, and others, you might say, okay, I know this party is strong, this mine is strong, and so on. Maybe have got an enemy. Let's make one government. And that one government might be stabler. As you can see, what happened after the war, the first government was a coalition. There were UPC people, there were DP, there were the Baganda, the kingdoms, and so on. And there was stability. But the moment these people fell out, the stability came in, and the popularity of the party. Similarly, I think Mao, his intentions were good, well intentioned. I think when he was approached, he said, UDP can amass votes. Why can't we work together? And I hear, because I was not part of that negotiation, I hear even UPC had been approached. And that's why you see the wife of Kenya is in the government, and these other people are in the government. So they were approached and said, we want a stable government. And I also hear that even the way it started, it had roots with the government. I don't know whether that is true. Maybe later they disagreed and took their own way. But that would have been a good thing. You have seen it in Kenya. It worked, and there was stability. And some other countries, it worked. Even in England, at one time, they had a government of national unity. I think I was still in England when the Conservative Party brought in Social Democrats and others. And it's normal. And in Germany, it's always a coalition government. Now, what I hear, and I have not analyzed this so much, is that people condemn Mao that he did not give enough consultation. I don't know whether he did, but if he did, I think that is a good idea.
If I may ask you, on behalf of the viewers, there are sentiments amongst some citizens that some of such that you take to be coalitions and healthy are rather the politics of eating, that you suffer so much in the opposition, so when the opportunity comes, you join the dining table and say the politics of eating.
No, but you see, everybody in this country is entitled to that table.
What do you mean?
That table is not a monopoly. It is not.
But you refused the same table.
Yeah.
You refused the same table. You said the big man approached you, inviting you onto the dining table. Why is it that when it comes to you, you refuse to join the table? You say is that each one of us is entitled, and then you let others go into what people consider as a trap.
What do you think? What do you think? For example, what do you think people think of Wakasis? A man who had been condemned to death and kept in that dungeon for so many years.
24 years.
You say, come to the table. I have been put in Uruzira and charged
on the same prison.
With prison. Now you say, come back, we work together. I can say, you go ahead. I will not I will not disturb you, but I will not work with you. Because
How come you kept the principle of not working with him and you want Mao and others to work with him?
no, you see, democracy have to listen to the majority. And by the way, leadership takes the decision, like what I have told you about the Semoger in 1980. For us, we sat as a group. The majority said,
You're going to the bush, supporting the...
yes. For him, we said, no, you, with a few of us, let's join the government. And that's democracy. I'm sure there are people in the DP who don't agree with Mao was going to government. But those, you are entitled with those views.
I am bringing it back to you, Professor. Why do you maintain your principle of not working with a person you do not subscribe to his ideas, and it is okay for others to work with him? Because you should have set a precedent of working with him, and then the rest of the people will follow you.
Let me tell you.
But for you, you want to remain clean,
Yes.
and you want others to work with him.
Some people join the government, all those groups, for two reasons. One, maybe national interest. Some others join because they are bad off. They need to be at the table. But for me, I don't belong the bad off group. No. I have been on my own for a long time, and even out of government, I live. So why should I join it where somebody I don't agree with? You see, I don't agree as a person. The president is my friend. We have been together for a long time, even before they come in with Amin and so on. And we have been together outside, inside. I am free to see him if I need anything. But when it comes to sitting with him in the cabinet, I don't agree. Because why I don't agree, there are certain principles which I subscribe to. I believe in one man, one vote. But this, there's what you call gerrymandering. You cannot make you cannot make a constituency of 80,000 people, and people elect your preferred candidate, and another constituency is 300,000 people, and I become party to that. It's against my conscience. The constituency should be as much as possible the same number of population. But you can see, for example, in the Western, our candidates, our parliamentarians, almost double Uganda.
Yeah, definitely.
And yet Uganda population is very well known. Is that proper? If I went there, I would fight it. Maybe I would be imprisoned again. So that is some of the things I don't agree with.
If I may ask you, what has eaten up the caliber of principled people like you to have a duplicate of you? People who will say, I will not work with this because of these principles. That's now you and very few others. And then a duplicate of, no matter, have they served? Let us wash our hands and now go to the dining.
See, leadership emerge, or leaders emerge. Some people will have been studying the situation. These young people you see here, they have been studying the situation. They will reach a level and say, no, I can't be bought. They have a vision. And that vision is not instilled in you by other forces. You say, because it's a risk, like the risks we go through, the humiliation, the what, somebody puts you in prison and so on, and you get out of prison, then you say, I work with you. I start praising you. Do you think people will believe you? They cannot believe, they couldn't believe me. A treason fellow? How?
But he has worked with many. Your colleagues, I'm not so certain, maybe you'll clarify on this fact, on whether by the time you were in prison, were you with Moses Adi, that's the lot?
No, Moses came later. Moses Adi came later.
Now, Moses Adi was in jail, just like you were, and on prison. But these gentlemen have worked together, and I want to also remind you that a few weeks ago, he even gave him a flag in a Jumani. Like, they have worked together since they reconciled. Maybe they could, I mean, they could have also went ahead to trust you had you accepted to work with them.
I think I'm different from Moses Ali because I was representing the largest party in this country.
DP.
And Moses Ali had no party.
He had just a militia.
Yes, he had a militia, and there were not many. Now, for me to say, I'm leaving you DPs who made me Secretary General, who supported our struggle, who did this. We lost so many people in the bush and so on. So many people lost their lives, and say, I'm joining government. I think I will be a pariah. I will not be. People will not really. You say, what are you talking about?
With your name Bwengye,
Yes.
now you are
What are you
talking
talking
them
about?
and taking unwise decisions.
And I don't want that type of situation. But if there was a principled negotiation for a coalition, I would definitely have joined, rather than taking me alone
As an individual.
And giving me a job, which has happened to the previous people, and they were all eventually dismissed.
Yeah.
The first Minister of Finance was a DP man. The second minister was DP man. Are they there? Are they still there? You see, so you have to be. The Wanyankura have got a saying that what has chased a big dog in the compound, then a puppy cannot go there.
Definitely.
Yes.
Let's talk about the.
Full ministers were dismissed.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I've never been a minister. You bring me in.
Chances are you could. In our remaining minutes, I want you to share. You mentioned young people, and do you see any bit of a difference between the young Bwengye and now the young people as you see them, either in NUP, FDC, PFF, to mention but a few, or even NRM itself?
I think, you see, situations create individuals. They had the generation that followed were born during the Museveni regime. Were coming from a turmoil. Their relatives were killed, the others were in exile. So they had never seen a better time. So they thought, these young ones, they thought that this is better. We lost relatives, we lost. No. I think we are okay. And that way, they got cheated. You see, they got cheated because they thought the situation had become better. How are they cheated? I from primary one up to university, I never paid the school fees myself. Government was paying.
But the president will say you were few.
No, the money was the same. You see, whether we have few, the taxes are the same. Today there is more money
instead
than before. And we get more money from outside. At that time, we were getting nothing. Our people were cultivators and grazing cattle. Coffee. We who come from that area in Ankole, we were educated on coffee. Yeah. Nobody would if those some of us were just getting bursaries. But those who didn't get bursaries, their parents would go and borrow from cooperative society. But it was destroyed.
Yeah.
And I praise you that you are a good leader because you destroyed Banyankure. There are people today I have seen who cannot pay for their children.
Very many.
Yes. And don't tell me there's no money. There's a lot of money. But if they were allowed to grow coffee and other commercial crops, they would definitely have, if the government had encouraged them, they would be educating their children. Now these children, the situation has changed now. Because I've been seeing changes. The new group is more disturbed than that one, the previous one. Because the previous one would get a bit of jobs, would get a bit of money. I think there was some money in Makerere, for example, called the
faculty allowance, the FA.
Yes. Now, Makerere, there are about 3 or 4 universities of government. But we have over 16 universities today. People go to other universities, they are not having government assistance. They finish the job, they work for government. That's a bad policy. And these people who are studying will not accept that. Yes, they will not accept. They want their rights. They want their rights. They have put in their brains. They have put in their parents have put in fees, and then you tell them there is no job. Okay, that's one thing. Another one, there is a discrimination in giving jobs. There are certain areas who are preferred. If you go to your area, you'll be shocked. for example, you find you go in a hall, people want to talk to you in one language.
Which language?
Runyankore.
But you're one of the Banyankore.
Eh?
And you are one of the Banyankore.
No,
you are
but
not doing
even if I'm one
you're
of-
doing private work. And there, maybe they qualified. Maybe they worked hard to be there. Maybe.
You began with the idea of a table.
Yeah, sure.
That table should be shared by everybody. There is no qualification for Nyankore to take preference in getting the job there. If you look at my partners here,
Yeah.
for me I choose
From
Uganda,
all of-
Nyankore, and others. Because you don't have to choose your own people. And I'm sure you people who are here, you are not
Yeah,
of
they're
the
different-
same-
they're different
Yeah,
tribes.
So this discrimination creates anger. It creates anger in people. Somebody is a graduate, he sleeps there, he doesn't look at the future, he's disturbed. The people who are even very poor in class
Are the ones taking
are
the-
the ones who are bribing, Penkoni, and so on. You create anger.
Do you see that anger in our country apparently?
Yes, there is a lot of anger. I'm sure even the president here sees it. There is a lot of anger.
What are the dangers of that anger in the event that such anger is not what's on?
Whether you like it or not, if things are not changing the way I see it, if things are not, there is no amelioration, you expect explosion.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm telling you, these people, you cannot keep these people on the street forever. You can't. With these borders, you can't. That's not a job. Then you send people to Saudi Arabia. They go and work as slaves. When they come back here, they'll be bitter. They'll be bitter. That's not how to look after the welfare of people. I condemn some governments of the past, like the Obote regime. But Obote had a plan for the youth. Obote won.
And you fought him.
No. We fought him the second.
You fought him with all his good plans.
No, the Obote won. Everything was fine. Agriculture, animal husbandry, everything, schools, everything was first class. It is only his military that did not agree with him. Now, when he came back here, he came on the card of dictatorship, which some of us will never accept. We couldn't. See, we couldn't.
Let's use our 5 or so remaining minutes and ask you to address these concerns. We cannot talk about Uganda's politics without the 3 individuals, Mr. Museveni, Dr. Besigye, Bobi Wine, Kyagulanyi. Let's begin with Dr. Besigye and his incarceration. What comments do you have?
I admire Besigye because he has really fought. He has really fought, not for himself, but for democracy. And if you know his background, I think Besigye was my contemporary at the university. And Besigye was with me outside Uganda. Besigye, literally, the group passed through my hands and the others to go for military training. He's a medical doctor. He was working, I think, at Aga Khan. And he decided he forfeited all that.
Drop the job and
now he came here, he was made a minister. And Besigye should have been one of the senior ministers to begin with. But they made him assistant minister, assistant to Semugeri. And I don't think he was satisfied. And then also he went on seeing what was going on. And he is the type of fellow, you know, people, God has been a bit fair, but in some terms is unfair.
like which terms where God has?
For example, he has not
unfair.
given us the same head. This content of the brains are not the same. Content, God, I don't know why God did that.
To hide people's heads and the content therein.
Now, once God has given you that level of understanding, nobody can suppress it. That's why you see people like the Kanyihambas and the others and the Besigye and the others. Those people, the brain will push you to say certain things and to do certain things. But others will bend because that type of level of brain is not there.
The content is
But you know it. Because you know it even in class. No, you can never get the same marks. Never. You can never get the same grades. Otherwise, if the brains were the same level, people would be getting the same grades. So we grade people according to the brains they have.
So about
Now,
Besigye, which advice would you have to the president, your friend?
the president,
About Besigye, which advice would you give to
he should
your friend?
is Besigye out of prison?
No.
Besigye should not be in prison. When you consider the contribution he has made, and even being in opposition, he was not in opposition for the destructive purposes. This is for democracy. You cannot keep your minister. You was, by the way, the first political commissar.
Yeah.
You were political commissar. You were the doctor for the president in the bush. Even after, you should always remember why you have come with friends. Even when you have a wife and disagree. I always advise people when they are saying, "Oh, the wife must go in the court." I normally ask permission for court. The first talk. Is it fair to dismiss your wife really? Separate. And the courts always give you a certain period.
How does it leave? Where does it leave Mr. Museveni's image when it comes to Besigye's
No, it is very negative. Because if a person like that and we have worked with, he shouldn't be in prison. Can you release the Wakasisi and put Besigye in prison and make him suffer like that? You see, me and Kirya, Barak Kirya, were captured in Nairobi, was supposed to be returned. And for me, I escaped, but Barak Kirya was returned. And he died a bitter man against Obote. And yet he was a former minister of Obote. Obote, that's one of the mistakes he made when he imprisoned George Magezi, Barak Kirya, Gracie Vingira, and the others, Masaya Songovi. Those were his close people. And they became the greatest enemies.
Okay.
So I think Museveni, our president, should put a break on the Besigye. Let Besigye be free.
Okay. I had mentioned the three names. Now I want to mention the other name. Kyagulanyi Factor.
Yeah?
Kyagulanyi Factor. What do you read of him?
I think Kyagulanyi represents a new generation. Don't underrate that man. Because you can see who are his supporters. He calls them. He has mobilized people. I think since I joined politics, this is the man I've seen that he can really move
crowds.
Yes, and don't underrate such a person. And you cannot say you can work with him. He may not be interested in working with him, but give him a level. Let the level, let the ground be leveled. If he wins, give him the chair. Yes.
Do you think that is possible in Uganda, especially with Mr. Museveni, your friend that you have seen this? Do you think he has that courage to surrender power?
I think Uganda have got a saying that obukademagezi. When you grow, you should become wiser. Because I don't think if Kyagulanyi won the popular vote and you just take it, I don't think he would occupy that chair comfortably.
What do you mean?
Did use the unemployed or sub-employed? Because some of these youth really, you find he is in a factory working when he has got a degree in science, but he cannot be given a proper job. And they vote, they say Kyagulanyi is our savior, and you block him. I don't know. I think it is like seeing a boiling pot and you put there a cover on top.
Okay. Viewers, Professor Bwengye has a lot that he should have shared, but of course, due to limited time, we may not be in position to exceed even for a minute or so, just because our Face of the Nation show is strictly limited time. We will ask him, of course, some other time so that he can give us a lengthy interview in regards to what is happening in this country. And of course, he could also go ahead and share with us what he projects ahead of 2026 elections. For now, Face of the Nation should be signing out, and see you some other time.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.